Hi, I'm Rhonda Fitterer.
And I'm Laverne,
And welcome to this episode of Cooking Crave. Today we are going to be featuring some sirloin and how to make kebabs. And the sirloin we did get from our sponsor, the Workshop. And here's Laverne to show us how to put these wonderful kebabs together for grilling for the summer.
Okay. One thing nice with kebabs, you can, there's such a variety that you can do. You can do chicken, you can do sirloin, you can do, just about anything that you want. It's just simple, easy. You make it to your liking.
So you pick out your meat, first of all.
Right.
And then you go from there.
Right, if you want chicken. And what we did, we got some sirloin, these are 5-ounce packets of sirloin from the Workshop. It's just a little steak, and it was so nice and easy to cube, just perfect for making, some beef kebabs. And then we also got their South American sauce. It's just a marinating sauce, and it's just gives it a wonderful flavor. Doesn't take a lot. In fact, I cut up my meat this morning and I put it in the fridge with the marinade on this morning because I had to go to work, and when I come home at noon, I just kind of mixed it up a little bit again, and it looks like it's just really nice and coated and marinated. And this sauce, like I said, is featured at the Workshop, and it was made for 7 Seas in Mandan, and this is made in Mandan, so you could get this right at the Workshop.
Isn't that just amazing how sometimes you'll find product that's made in North Dakota, and because there's so many things that obviously food is a little bit different, but to shop United States, to shop locally, and something that's actually made and distributed in North Dakota, it's wonderful. Right,
and then we have that product right here, in Dickinson at the Workshop. So
okay,
with the beef kebabs, we're going to use some pineapple and some onion, and I cut up some red and green peppers. And this is just a small variety of what you can do. You can actually, I think mushrooms would be great on there, or cherry tomatoes, or even when zucchini comes about, putting some zucchini on there.
Yeah, because there's vegetables that come at different times of the year that are fresh, and if you do garden, and make your own. So,
and with making that, you just are going to alternate your food here. Just I'm going to put that on there, and then just stick a
very easy to put on there.
Right. There. So now I'm going to put another piece of meat in there. And like I said, those sirloin steaks at the Workshop, just look at how nice cubes they are. Just perfect for grilling.
Now I was reading the marinade bottle, and it did say that it's good for chicken, as well as beef, and pretty much anything that you can grill, any type of meat you can grill, you can use this marinade with. So you're not limited to a specific type of meat at all.
No, it's like I said, it's great for beef and for chicken and that. So that looks like a pretty nice skew here. So I'm going to just lay it on this platter here, and we'll get that. And looks like we'll have enough to make a couple of them here.
And something different. This is, you got a different flavor, and you got a meal on a stick, basically.
Right. And you can just see the youngsters thinking how special and how fun this is to have this for a supper.
Well, it's not something you do every day, so definitely it's something that younger kids will get a big kick out of.
Yeah. And you can alternate to whatever you want. And you can put as much beef on there or meat if you're doing chicken. It isn't just a matter of a couple of pieces here or there.
I could see, actually, you probably almost could do this with different types of fish as well. Now that fishing is in full swing, that fresh fish along with the kebab when you're camping would be a great dinner as well.
I think so. There. Okay, so let's go ahead and put that one on there. And you know, they feature your shrimp kebabs, like I said, fish, anything. You can just about do whatever you know you like. And you don't know if you're going to like it until you experiment. And I think that's what's fun about all of this, is that, you know, you just learn to experiment. Now I think we're going to be able just to put a couple more pieces of steak on here. Finish that end piece in there.
These are actually kind of fun to put together too.
Yeah. Feel creative. And you could probably see the kids wanting to help with this, huh?
They're not too sharp, so you shouldn't hurt yourself too badly if you poke yourself.
Right. There. Now, look, those look good.
They do.
And of course, you know, you're certainly going to discard your marinade here. It's something you wouldn't want to use over again. And with your kebabs, you're going to put them on the grill. You can put them on foil, but you know, if you have the grill not on too high of a heat, you can just put it directly on the grill and just turn them every few minutes, and you know, you'll be just fine. It'll work out good just directly on the grill, because I think you'll get a little bit more grill flavor with that. So
now when we're putting in on the grill, we do have the grill temperature about 325.
Okay. And
how often is this something that you want to turn then?
I would say you should turn them every few minutes. You know, you just because your steak is already marinated, it's not going to take that very long for that to cook. You know, a good steak, you know, they say, you know, about 5 minutes on each side. It depends upon how well you like it done, and that. And being this is marinated and that it's nice and tender, it's not going to take very long at all. So we'll do that. But you know, we're going to get a clean plate, because we shouldn't use the same plate that you put raw meat on. When you take it out, you want a clean plate to put your cooked product on. All right, let's get that taken care of. All right. Hey, all right. I think we should be checking and turning them here. But let's, well, the skews aren't too hot here, but you want to make sure you check that so that you don't burn yourself. See, that's just cooking quite nicely here.
I smell the peppers already coming out.
You know, green pepper or any red pepper, it's so flavorful. It just, you know, really adds, you know, a lot of just extra flavoring to your recipes. You know, that's one thing that I like to use a lot is, you know, the different peppers, the red, the green, and all that. So
the yellow and the orange are not quite as sharp. They're a little bit sweeter. So
yes,
those are a good thing, you know, with especially if you're having these with smaller kids as well. Yeah.
Well, and they just add such pretty color to, you know, recipes. It's so eye appealing. And of course, you have something that looks good, it's pretty much going to taste good.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll give that a couple more few minutes before we turn them again. And you know, it's probably been about 5 minutes. It's not going to take too long. I estimate around that 10 minutes or so, or possibly 15, depends upon if you like your steak well done, or, you know, in chicken, that's one thing too. If you're going to make chicken or fish, you're going to need to have that well done.
Right, you know, that's something you thoroughly cook.
Right, yes. And you know, when you marinate food too, marinate meats, it just, it seems to cook a little faster also when you have a marinated piece of meat or chicken or whatever. So
okay,
all right.
The nice thing with cooking or marinating, you know, your chicken, and that's something that, you know, you don't have to, if you have leftovers, it's always good on a salad the next day. Absolutely, you bet. Yeah. Whatever. And that's too one thing I like, a grilling chicken. I put it marinate that in Italian dressing. And I always like to make extras, because then it's really good for on a salad. You know, making a chicken salad over lettuce and just whatever ingredients you want on that. So. And again, being this is the summer season when we're getting homemade lettuce, you know, from gardens, and homemade tomatoes, it's just a treat. Right, just makes it extra special.
and you know it's fresh. So when you're making it yourself, you know what you're getting.
Right.
So, and we're also going to feature a dessert with this tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's called a coconut crunch dessert, and it was submitted by Dolores Brusso.
Right here of Dickinson.
And it's just such a simple dessert to make. It's not a heavy dessert, and it's quick. And again, it's a dessert that you can make the day before. So you're going to have company. You've got it made already, and you know, it's just easy to make, and it just goes over well.
Great.
Okay, let's check those kebabs again. Oh my goodness, I think they're about ready.
Kind of smells like we're almost south of the border a little bit.
Ah, hey, that's not a bad idea.
Well, let's go.
But you know, this is a little bit cheaper, I think.
It is. And it smells great.
Well, they do look like they're done, so we're going to just take them and put them on the platter here. And just to make sure, okay, they're going to come off pretty easy there. Well, we can stagger them here like this. Okay. Isn't that nice and colorful?
That makes a beautiful plate.
Yeah. But you know, the thing is, it even smells better than it looks.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Well, and we'll have this will be a great entree, and then the dessert that's going to follow this, it's just going to be a wonderful meal.
Yeah, well, it should go over well and that. And so, like I said, we use the Don Diego Southwestern steaks seasoning. I guess I shouldn't just call it steak seasoning, because like we said, you can marinate chicken and pork in it and all of that.
Yep, that's great.
So
let's take that in, and we'll get to our dessert, and we'll have a complete meal.
Okay, that sounds like a plan here. So, okay, now we've come inside, so we're going to make our coconut crunch dessert. Okay, and it asks for a cup of flour, a cup of chopped coconut, and a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. And then it asks for a 1/2 cup of soft butter. And already, you know, you have a stick of butter like this is a 1/2 cup. So you don't have to pre-measure that. So we're going to just take that and work this in here together. And then we're going to just put it on a baking sheet, and we're going to put it in the oven and brown it. It doesn't take very long to brown. And this is the crust that you're going to use on the bottom of the dessert. Plus, also you'll reserve a little bit on the top too, for the extra, you know, crunch on top.
Okay.
And being that butter is nice and soft, it just mixes up quite quickly. And I had just taken the coconut, and I just took a knife and just chopped it a little bit finer. But you know, this would work well in a food processor too.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, so.
And again, this was a recipe submitted from one of our local Dickinson residents, Dolores Brusso.
Yes. And I'll attest that she is a good cook too.
That doesn't take long to blend up, and
no.
Once we do have this blended, again, you said we're going to put it on a baking sheet. And how long do we bake that for?
It's not going to take very long at all. You need to watch it very closely, because it can burn, but probably about 5 minutes or so. And we're going to have it. I preheated the oven at 350.
Okay.
So we'll just clean that off there, and you don't pack it down or anything. You're going to just put it on the baking sheet and just
spread it out evenly.
Spread it out, correct. And like I said, that it will brown quickly. So, and we want to turn it at least once in between.
Okay.
And that, so it doesn't burn.
Does it matter what type of baking pan you use? I see that you're using a little bit darker pan. Would that make a difference if you had a lighter?
You know, the trick is going to be, you're just going to have to watch it closely. A darker pan usually will probably brown a little bit quicker, so you want to be careful. So we're going to put that in the oven here. And like I said, we preheated it at 350. And I'm going to put the light on in the oven so we can kind of watch it that way too.
Okay.
So while that is doing that, baking, I'm going to set this aside. The next, you're going to just use a 9x9 pan or any kind of pan. This is approximate 9x9, and that's going to, make just about, that size of a dessert. It's not going to be, it's not a big dessert. And that you're going to cook a package of pudding, and you don't want the instant. You want the pudding that to cook. So I did cook this already and a little bit earlier, and you want to let it cool. So when we put the crunch in there, then we're going to put that on top of the crunch, the pudding there.
Okay.
And it says do not use instant pudding. And sometimes you find that instant pudding will weep a little bit. Your cooked pudding just will stay set to firmer better than usually instant will. So.
Well, and in a dessert, I would think that, that's very important. You don't want to get a soggy dessert. So.
Right, yes.
All right.
So,
Good
and
point.
it's just your 3-ounce box of Jell-O pudding.
Okay, sounds good.
And while that we're letting that bake a little bit, we're going to whip a cup of whipping cream. And I usually like the gourmet whipping cream. It beats up a little bit faster and a little bit thicker than your other cream does. But any whipping cream will be fine. Okay. So I'm going to just use my mixer here, and I'm going to mix it up. Might be a little bit noisy, but we'll just have to. I've finished whipping the cream. I've made it fairly stiff. You want it pretty stiff so it's not runny on top. So we're going to just take that out here and there. Okay, I think we should be checking our crust there and that, and I want to just turn it a little bit. Turn it over so we get it nice. Oh, let's see, it's starting to brown very nicely here. See, let's just take a spatula and mix it, turn it around. And of course your edges probably will brown a little quicker because it probably was a little bit thinner right there. So we'll just spread it apart and put it back in there again. I would just say a couple more minutes, maybe 2-3 minutes. It should probably be about done.
All right.
In fact, I'm going to set the timer here, just in case we get talking and forget we don't want it to burn.
That's right.
Okay. Well, I whipped the cream here, and with this recipe, it says not to add sugar in the whipped cream. With the crunch and the pudding, it's plenty sweet.
Okay.
And if you put sugar in whipped cream, regular granulated sugar, your cream will kind of weep and that and stuff. But a good trick of when you want to put sugar in there is use powdered sugar. Oh. And it doesn't separate in there like when you're using regular granulated sugar. So
like if you were going to use a whipping cream for like a fruit salad, for instance, you use a powdered sugar instead of a granulated sugar.
Right, yeah, it just keeps it...
Does it give the same flavor?
Right, it does. You use about the same amount of sugar as you would, the powdered sugar as you would your granulated. And of course, you start adding a little. You can always add, but you can't take it out.
Right.
And I think sometimes we just get carried away with sugar, and we just need to cut back, and we find that we really don't need as much as we use sometimes. So
like the lady that submitted the recipe, Dolores, was saying that the pudding and the crunch is sweet enough that you wouldn't have to add it.
Right, because we're going to save some of the crunch and put it on top of the whipped cream, there too. So you already have the sugar, or the brown sugar, and the coconut in there. So it will, like I said, it will definitely be sweet enough.
Okay, sounds good. You can definitely smell the crunch baking.
Yes. Anytime you have a crust with, butter and brown sugar and that, but coconut coconut is one of my favorites, so this is a dessert that goes over well if you like coconut.
Definitely.
All right, so we'll check it again, just making sure here. Okay, it's starting to be brown pretty nice. We'll probably let's do it for about a minute yet. Like I said, you don't want it to burn, but it's starting to get nice and, light brown color. So we'll just do that, and otherwise, everything is about ready to go then after that. And then you're going to just store that in the fridge. And like I said, it's great to make it the day before if you're having company, that you don't have to have everything, the crunch time, whatever, and stuff to get.
Something you can prepare and not
Right.
leave yourself to the end making a whole bunch of things at once.
Yeah, getting yourself stressed out and all that. It's fun to have company and family or friends come over. You want to make it as comfortable and less stressful as possible.
Definitely. Definitely. And good food is always a plus.
Yeah, isn't it though? Okay, I think that's going to be done there, so I'm going to take it out. Let's see. Okay. See, that's just...
Yeah, that's browned really nice.
Yeah. And like I said, it doesn't take very long, and it cools quite quickly too, but we'll just take some out here and we're going to put it in our glass pan.
And is this something that we're going to press and make like a crust, or does it stay loose on the bottom?
You're just going to put it in. You don't have to press it or anything like that to make the crust. It's and the pudding, when you put the pudding on top, that's just going to kind of set that crust right in there. So when you serve it, it's going to be it'll stay together.
Okay.
So I think this will be about the right topping for to put on the top of the crust. And let's just set it aside here just a moment here, and let's just give it a couple more moments here. It's already, you can feel it, to the touch. It's not real hot, so
okay.
Let's just kind of break up all the little pieces here and stuff. So the next thing here, you're just going to put that pudding over it.
And again, you had made this pudding, but it does ask for it to be a cooled pudding. Correct,
yes. I had made it just a little bit earlier, and so it had a chance to cool. And being it's not a big pan, it's only approximately a 9-inch pan here. Like I said, the 3-ounce box of pudding is plenty.
And this is something that I would think that you could easily double into a 9x13 pan as well.
Oh, I think so. There's nothing here that would affect your recipe when you're doubling it. There's some things, like candies or like that they recommend not to double. And that just because, your cooking time is a little bit different and all that and stuff. So we just got that all spread out there. All on top like that. And then you're going to just take your whipped cream and just spread that over your pudding there.
And I would think that you actually probably could use a different flavors of pudding too. If you wanted, say, more of a banana flavor, I would think a banana pudding might be good in this dessert as well.
Well, you could. I think because, you've got the coconut flavoring. They make coconut pudding too. If you'd like a little bit more coconut flavor, sure. I would, probably use coconut pudding if you'd like.
It just is something that you could experiment with.
Right. See.
And that's what most of the time good cooking is just trying different things and experimenting and.
Right. Well, they'll say a lot of times good cooks don't measure or whatever. It just, you know, you learn by taste and touch, you know, just by what you know, just cooking.
Right.
So we got that spread on there, and now we'll just be able to use the rest of that crunch. The pan is a little bit warm yet, so I think I'll use my mitt. Yeah, well, it's not too warm. So we're going to just crumble, you know, the rest of this crust on top. You know, we can just kind of put that in there, and when it's on there, we can just even it out.
Sure.
You know, doesn't that look really simple?
It is a very simple recipe, and again, like you had said, it's not something that you have to prepare just before you serve it. You can make it the day prior,
right? Yeah.
Earlier in the day for an evening.
And it'll stay set. And it's not a heavy dessert. So, you know, if you like on a summer evening, it seems like in the summer, you just don't feel like a heavy dessert or something like that. So this is just perfect in that. So
it is.
There we are, ready to go.
Again, we got the beef kebabs that we made, and the sirloin and the marinade sauce, the Don Diego South American sauce from the workshop. It just smells absolutely wonderful, along with the dessert that Dolores Brusso had submitted to Consolidated's website, www.ctctel.com. And please submit your favorite recipe for us to cook for you on the Cooking Crave Show, sponsored by the Workshop. Thank you so much, and have a great evening.